So tonight is the Q&A session. I have a few questions, not too long. I think maybe when we reach to the end. So if you want to type some chat questions, then perhaps, or verbal questions also is okay. We'll see. All right, let's go to the questions. I'll do the share screen right now. No? Okay. Can you all see? Okay, well, good. Okay. All right. Bhante, in Vipassana, we are told to note whatever phenomena, object that is prominent or apparent at that very moment. When we do the walking, do we note only one foot from raising, lifting, placing, or touching? While from raising to placing on one foot, the other foot is more prominent. Say, when we do raising on the right foot, we feel the weight slowly moving to the left foot. Then when we continue lifting on the right foot, the whole weight moves to the left foot. The left foot now is more prominent. Okay. So how do we note then? Finish noting one foot at a time, or to switch according to the prominency, to the prominence. All right. Now, in this situation, when you begin to notice that, especially in the walking meditation, during in the beginning of the giving the instruction of the technique of how to do this walking meditation, then normally when you come into the third phase, we ask the yogi to notice the lifting, the pushing, the dropping, or the raising, the lifting, or the pushing, or the dropping, something like that. Then you have to note them thoroughly, clearly, precisely, see what is going on. That is the general instruction. But when we come into as we practice, as we keep on practicing, the mind becomes more sharper, clearer. Then here is where your clarity of your mind become more expanded. Expanded in the sense that, as like in the walking meditation, it begins to notice, like your case over here. This one also, your case also here, many yogis also has gone through. When they noticing the one foot, let's say the right foot, as the right foot is lifting or raising, pushing, dropping, while it's raising to lifting or pushing, then they notice that the left foot becomes very clear. As the pushing going on, then the left foot also become very clear. Absolutely very clear because of the weight is there. Good. So what do we do at this time? So at this time, what a yogi should do, you should take note of all of them. You cannot choose what you like. Vipassana is something like that. It's being offered to you, It's offered to you right in front of what is happening, and those things are clear right now, or those objects are clear right now. The weight is clear, the movement is clear. Then this time you should kind of take all of them in. Don't worry about being one object at one time. Don't worry about those things. Those are in the books. What you are supposed to see is that to see things as they are, or what is being presented to you at the present moment. So this time, you take notice of the hardness, you take notice of the movement, and then the weight is happening, then you take notice of the weight also. You know that the weight is, then your mind can go to and fro. It's to and fro from the weight to the movement. After that, it can switch back to the weight again, the heaviness of the other foot. Then it's perfectly all right. Because this time there's a continuity of mindfulness. Don't worry about the object, it's the continuity of the mindfulness that is important. So your mindfulness is your noting mind is moving from one object and move to the another object. It may be another foot, but then it is already moved back again to the lifting or the pushing part of it, and then it can move back to the weight again. Then sometimes it go to and fro as if like everything comes together. So when you happen to observe it in this way, you pay attention. You pay attention it in that way, rather than some people think that, hey, this heaviness must not go in. Not only this food will do, one object at a time. Then that is not the way. This is exactly sometimes the doubt about the practice comes in. Like I gave on the talk on the Wednesday. On Wednesday, I mentioned that sometimes the object may not appear one time. The objects may appear rising, falling. After that, it appear the pain is there, the itchiness is there. Sometimes you just note 2 or 3 seconds only, then you move to the next object, you move to the next object. So overall, when you actually look at it, as if like there are so many objects as occurring and passing away, as if like the same time. Like the same time. But nevertheless, if it shows you in this way, you pay attention also in this way. Also, during in the walking also, sometimes it may not just be the weight of the leg, it's clear. Sometimes while there's a lifting, pushing, dropping taking place, sometimes the upper part of the body, like the knees become clear, or the thighs become the muscles that's pulling on the thighs become clear, or the calf also become clear. Or sometimes you may notice that your body is shifting to the left, to the right. Sometimes you may notice the hips also are moving while they're doing this slow lifting, pushing and dropping. If that thing happens also, take note of them also. It's perfectly all right. Don't worry about you must just only follow just lifting, pushing, dropping only. Just like when there is a rising, falling. So sometimes the rising, falling is there, but then the another object can be the itchiness or pulling. Tightness also is as prominent as the rising and falling. So that time you also take note of those things together. When I say together, you must put it inverted. Some people, they are so gao, so pandai, they think that mind cannot take 2 objects at one time. How pandai? Wait. All these things, the book says is true, not to say it's wrong. But you are not at that level yet. You are not at that level yet. Your level, you haven't mastered to see things one thing at one time yet. Not yet. Sometimes the object shows you a number of things as if like one go. So that's why you have to put the book knowledge aside a little bit. Whatever it shows to you in front, you take it as it is. So too, just like this question also the same thing. So in conclusion, whatever that arises, as long as they are prominent, pay attention to them. Pay attention to them. It's okay that your leg shift from one leg to the other, then it shift back again, and then the other shift back again. It's perfectly all right. Important thing is the continuity of that mindfulness. Okay? Not too difficult, this question. Doing is difficult. Asking is not difficult. Right? Okay. Next question. Bhante, regarding skeptical doubt, I have doubts about the meditation. If I have doubts about the meditation teacher, hold on. Okay. If I have doubts about the meditation teacher, like, can he help me to get enlightenment? The question is, how do we choose a good and the right meditation guide or teacher. Are there any characteristics, Bhante? Characteristics, none. It's impossible for you to know who is a good teacher and who is not, just by looking at the person, Not. There are people they are devotees. They are devotees. There are many devotees actually that I come to know of. How they choose a good monk or a good teacher, as long as their behavior is good. Of course, the behavior is good is one of the right thing, But also, there are monks or teachers or nuns with good behavior, but the views are very, very far from the truth, far from the Dhamma. There are all kinds of adhamma. Sometimes it comes in with a lot of self, a lot of wrong views and so on. But then there are people who love this type of, very esoteric type of knowledge, very like got special power, got that type of something undercurrent power and so on. People like those type of things. Whereas the right meditation guide or a right teachers, it's that you have, first of all, of course, you need to have a lot of good knowledge, theoretical knowledge of the Dhamma. You cannot run away. This question also is something like the last week also it was asked also the same thing. You need that proper theory. You cannot just base on what you think is right now, what you feel is right, because a lot of times what we feel is right, we mix it up with all our emotions. And a lot of these emotions, when you got this pleasantness, the mind will kind of like stay with it, attached to it. And when it's unpleasant, the mind kind of run away from it. And when it's based on emotions, and that should not be the criteria. You have to have a more discerning mind, a little bit more wisdom into your everyday life. That when you want to discern somebody, you discern it through not only their action, but also their thoughts and their understanding. Then whether those thoughts and those understanding in coherent with the Dhamma, with what what mentioned in the Sutta, Vinaya, or the commentaries in that sense. So it is good that we have a broad understanding. Then only we can able to make a good judgment. Sometimes, like for example, I say esoteric. Not many years ago, I was with, the time was Venerable Dasana, Reverend Dasana at that time. We were in Thailand. We were in Chiang Mai, Then we were in the meditation center, supposed to be a Vipassana meditation center. And then at one time, we were staying together. Then after that, I went to another monastery in further to the town in Chiang Mai. While I was away, Reverend Dasana, that time he was still in that particular monastery. I missed the show, something like that. But what happened there, what happened inside that monastery is that at one time, after I left, then this monk, this abbot of the place, he took out a big photo, photo or a big drawing of the previous Long Po. And then there were a group of devotees sitting around in front of the monk, in front of the monks, together with the abbot. So the abbot took out this photo out, and then after a while, with a bit of translation was, Reverend Dasana got it, that time, and then they told him that now what the current Long Po is doing, the particular Long Po is that right now is they're saying that this Ajahn is going to go into all of you, This Ajahn is going to go into all of you to give you power and so on, And then after that, what happened to one of the nuns is that then because they felt they got that power already, one of the nuns starts to roll on the floor, Not only roll, it begins to like, how a caterpillar moves, on the leaves. And then the nun also is doing it on the floor, similar like what a caterpillar do, like that, down. Because of the power, because the Ajahn goes into all of you. Vipassana Center. And people believe those things. Believe that these type of things give them that power, give them that energy. Nothing to do with Dhamma. As I said, a lot of Adhamma, a lot of people are wearing robes and so on. Morality is good. The morality is good. The monks are well behaved. Not to say that they are doing this and doing that. So the monks are well behaved. Is it bad? But when it comes into understanding, there you are. It's totally Adhamma. So I said, I missed the show. That's what after that, when I met up with Reverend Dasana again, a week or two later, he told the whole situation, whole incident to me. So these type of things. So if you are based on just your emotion, based on what you think is right, without any knowledge, then that is where you're going to fall into those traps. So, you see, so as I said, you must have that good, proper knowledge, a good knowledge. You have the knowledge from the suttas, the Vinaya or the Abhidhamma, and also the commentaries also. Because a lot of things you cannot able to define what sometimes you cannot define what the Buddha is trying to say. And also because of a lacking of our knowledge in Pali, and then sometimes the translation in English, the meaning is a bit slightly off the bit. So here we also rely on a good proper commentaries. I've seen also there are monks who have good knowledge about the Sutta, Vinaya, They have very good knowledge about that. But then they don't comment they don't comment on what the commentary is based upon. They use their own idea, own comments. They try to attach, pull this one, pull that one, and then to form up their own idea. And then they are dangerous. They're so dangerous in the sense that they can have all these thoughts and understanding. Then when they have all this theory and so on, good theory, but then they can say that when you want to get enlightenment, Sotapanna, you no need to meditate. All you need to do is to just read those, just sutta will do lah. Read all the sutta and then you get enlightenment already. No need to make so much effort. I mean, the effort is just reading only. No need to go to retreat and all that thing. Maybe higher development, you need all these type of things. When you want to get the first stage, no need, just read will do. And this is how people believe. Devotees are believing all these things. Not only that, like you want the instant enlightenment, as I said many times in the past, during retreat, that people are so crazy about enlightenment. I mean, you're also crazy, not to say. But the thing is that they are, whatever it takes, whether right or wrong, they don't care. As long as somebody says, I got enlightenment, will go already, And then here they are listening to some talks by some Longpo or some monks or some Sayadaw. Just by listening to them, finish that listening or the chanting or the Dhamma talk. At the end of the chanting, you all are all enlightened already, first stage already. That is how the devotees right now we have seen. So many. You may not see it, but if you travel places, you see this type of yogis and so on. All the types of devotees are so crazy about all these amulets and so on. To give them the power to meditate, to give them that energy, to give them that protection and so on. The power. They don't rely on the Dhamma, but they rely on those type of amulets to give them all this power. In meditation also, they need this type of amulet and so on. Attachment, a strong attachment towards it. This is not like if you do it once or twice, it's perfectly all right. But to do it like it's a must, you have to have those things. If without that thing, you cannot meditate anymore. You cannot develop anymore. Yeah. So these are things, that's why a lot of times we do not have proper theory, right understanding. So this is the thing. And the next thing, again, also the same thing. That while people have a lot of theory, then they do not have practice. They have practice, but not enough practice. And also practice, all kinds of practice. They do not know what is the proper or important practice. Mental development. Especially for example, you all lay people. Lay people also, you all don't have much time actually, honestly speaking. Monks also, many monks also don't have much time also. Because the monk also got entangled with missionary work, Dhamma talks, or service to people, this type of service, that type of service. Sometimes you not only teaching, but also have to teach the other monks, have to build a monastery, have to repair work, maintenance, a lot to do in the temple. So they don't have much time. They don't have much time. So I've met with monks who come to me for a retreat. Even in Kota Tinggi, I think so. There are monks or nuns come to me also. I ask them, hey, come a bit longer lah. Since you are a monk or nun already, Bante, not enough time lah. And in the temple, so many things have to do. This thing have to do, that thing have to do. Just to come here with you for 1 week only, Bante. It is so difficult to get leave from the monastery. To get leave from the monastery. So difficult. And then they don't have much practice. Got a lot of theories, got a lot of theory, not much practice. What about all of you? You got to cari makan. Now let's say you have retired also, but you got cucu cicit also to take care. So many cucu for you to take care, and so many things to take care. Even right now, like we are in the lockdown also, which today I mentioned another 2 weeks. Another 2 weeks of lockdown. Then even that you're in the lockdown also, a lot of you may not have the mind that is settled to meditate also. Your mind will be thinking, enough food or not? Can I go out or not? How far can I go? Is it this? Is it the border or not? Is it you cannot cross the district or not? And all those things are, that type of mind and so on. And when you're out there, somebody stand beside you, somebody cough on you, see COVID bo. That type of fear inside there. And then when you want to meditate, even right now, the mind is like, you cannot really settle because there's a number of things to do. You have to worry about this and that. No. So time may not be on your side. So therefore, you've got to find time. You've got to make that determination, hopefully when things are open, when the retreat when you're able to go back to your retreat, and go and look for a proper retreat. Go and then that if you got that 2 weeks, make sure that you fully do the practice. Then go inside there, want to play with your mobile phone, want to play with your tablet, want to check whether did I say happy birthday to my mother or not, or to my husband or not. All these things. All these things, and your practice and put everything aside, you don't have much time, but you really need the practice. In order for you to progress, then only you can see the depth, the clarity of what the Buddha mentioned. Then only you can able to realize exactly what is anicca, exactly what is dukkha, and exactly what is anatta. Not just in the theory and whether you are not sure how is anatta is like, how is anicca is like, those type of doubt that you may have, But when you're in the practice, as you go into deeper, all this type of doubt it begins to clear. So to the same thing, when I was in the beginning of practice, what is anicca? What is dukkha? And all that thing. Dukkha, all I know is this buttock pain only. All I need is the hip pain or back pain only. More than that, I do not know. But then when you meditate further, dukkha also connected with all the happiness also. Anicca is not just this change or that change, but the change, the arising and passing away is so fast. More and more things that you can able to notice, that it expand your whole understanding. So the practice, the theory and the practice has to be there. As I said last week also, you also have to do a lot of good deeds. And when you do all these good deeds and also abandon your unwholesome deeds, then you have to direct your mind searching for the right teacher. You make the aspiration to meet with the right teachers. And then hopefully with all your good deeds from this life and the past life, you will ripen and you will go through a right teacher. You will somehow, without you knowing, it begin to connect you with all the right teachers. And not to say wrong, the wrong teachers, you slowly you begin to have, they are there, but you are not so involved in their teachings and so on. Your mind can see through further clearer. So again, it comes back to a few things. You must have a good theory, you must have a good practice, and of course, you must have do a lot of good deeds and abandon of all the unwholesome deeds. So something like this, Okay, let's go back to talk. Right. So the next question, also the same thing. But it's quite long question. Okay. I don't want to read everything. You all can read. Now, here the question also is the same. How far as a yogi to draw the line of being influenced by Dhamma teachers, both laity and ceremonial monks that do not meditate and pay attention to investigate the body? Hey, wait, I move this thing. Okay, investigate the body, but rather cling to versions from canonical scriptures and repeat it like parrots. influence the next generation and insist that that's the truth? What's the criteria to apply when we face such situation? All right. Now, here there are some things here. It's also the answer will be similar like the just now that I've mentioned. But you see, sometimes these ceremonial things, like chanting, repeating what the Buddha mentioned, sometimes they are not every monks or every monks or every teachers have the clarity of the mind or the you can able to elaborate through your understanding, through your this one. Although they may understand, but it's not easy for them to elaborate a lot of things. Okay? So they may understand a lot, but they cannot able to express themselves. And therefore, we should not just disregard them. Even they can able to cling to all these scriptures and all this sutta or this and that. It's still not to say that they are totally wrong. They are not totally wrong. There are some monks who reinterpret the Dhamma, and if they reinterpret it wrongly, then they are wrong. And some monks, some teachers, they don't reinterpret it. They go according to what the canon says. They go according to what the scripture says. And sometimes what they do is only chanting. They do the chanting, they do the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, they do the chanting, they do the Metta Sutta, and those things are not wrong. Those things are right. But maybe a lot of people may not be able to understand. Okay? So if they cling to these things, it's still better than clinging to all kinds of worldly things like money or like beautiful things and so on. It's still much better. But it's still a clinging, it's still attachment, yes, but something is more wholesome rather than clinging to something with not this one at all. Even sometimes the monk or the nuns come in, they take some leaves and then they put into the water and then tick tick ta ta tick tick ta ta, give all of you a little bit of spray here and there, holy water and so on. Those things also you must not underestimate those type of things. I'm going to talk about that also in Monday also, because these things for some people is the start of their faith. You may be very far away, yes, you may be very far away, but don't underestimate these small little things, or you look at them as, not necessary, we Buddhists, we don't do all these type of things and so on. Because you are judging from your own level and you have that type of conceit that you think that all these things are not necessary. Sometimes you may go into a chanting in a house and so on. Then they put strings around, they put strings around, they tie you, everybody tie, that one tie here, tie there. The Buddha also tie, and then everything tie. And then the monks will start chanting, and chanting, as if like, the electric can pass through, the current can pass through to everybody. To them, these type of things, it's good for some people. You may not, you think that all these things is just clinging. You may think that all these things are clinging, but not necessary. What you see only, you think is clinging, but for the other people, for the other devotees who are just in the beginning, to them this is where their faith towards the Dhamma, the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha will start. Even the amulets that they have and so on, if they were to give it to you, and you think that this is beautiful and you think that is good, but then of course if you overly attach, then it's a problem, But if you know it and you keep it part of like your understanding, part of the to remind you to be wise, to be good morals, why not? So too, these type of things. So sometimes the monks or the nuns may do a lot of very, as if like unnecessary type of things. But no, it is still necessary for some people. It may not be necessary for you, but you don't judge them as something as wrong. Okay, you don't judge them as wrong, because once you do like that, your conceit is there, and you don't realize it. You think that all these things is wrong. So, of course, when you judge, if you know that when they start to do this holy water give you this holy water, and then the monk says that, okay, with this holy water, I give it to all of you, and then your luck will come, your 财will 来了. Then tonight you're going to buy the 4 number, wholesale 了. Then if you go into that way, then it's wrong. It's wrong already. Then you discern it, that is wrong. But for some people, that type of holy water is where they start. It's where they start. Now even if when they say this holy water is not effective, you have to go and to read the Ratana Sutta and its commentary about the Ratana Sutta. And this Rajagaha is supposed to be infected by plagues, and the plagues is being done by all these petas and they're coming into this, and they have gone through plagues, like a epidemic, in that area. So what the Buddha do? What the Buddha did was, he asked Venerable Ananda to take the bowl, the Buddha's bowl. Okay, take the Buddha's bowl, fill it with water, and go around Rajagaha. And while going around Rajagaha, and then you chant the Ratana Sutta, and you use this water and sprinkle it all over the places, and the plague gone. Maybe we should do it right now for the COVID-19. A lot of monks are doing it, but still, maybe we don't have the Buddha's bowl, maybe. Anyway, you see, it's still effective in a certain sense. So the whole thing is that your question here is that you have to check your own. You have to check your own conceit. You have to check your own conceit. And to understand your own conceit, therefore you must need proper knowledge. You have also need proper development of the practice. Then only this type of conceit will, be more clearer to you. So don't underestimate this type of things, Okay, don't underestimate of things. But when you know that exactly this is wrong, then you know that it is wrong. You know that some things, it may not be necessary for you. It is not necessary for you, but it may be necessary for others. Don't judge just because on your own view, on your own conceit. All right. Okay. Next question. I got to move this thing higher. Wait, hold on. Okay. In the Pali Sutta, it's obvious that the later commentaries try to explain the Sutta, show change and views incorporated to what was the Buddha word and how it influenced the canonicals, and later introduction of the Abhidhamma. When we go into sitting, with all the commentaries and Abhidhamma, we seems to already have a framework to what is a resultant to expect, like placing a cart before the horse, and it becomes a hindrance in a way. Okay. Is it right? The question is it right if one sees the Dhamma as a tool to empower beings to realize that freedom, all influence, has been body experience, and strive to cultivate without expectation? Yeah? Okay. Now you see the question here Is it right if one sees the Dhamma as a tool to empower beings to realize that the freedom from all influences is within one's body's experience and strive towards cultivating the Noble Eightfold Path without expectation? Well, here this question, you have a different angle, because a different level for us to look into it. Okay? Now, can you practice the Dhamma without a goal? Can you practice a Dhamma without a goal? And I don't think you could do that. You need the goal, you need the right goal in order for you to touch the goal. In order for you to touch the goal. If the Noble Eightfold Path is being practiced, let's say, and you do not know what's the resultant, then there's no drive, there's no determination for you to go further. You need that clear understanding. Okay? So the thing is that now you see, like within in the Noble Eightfold Path, it's the whole practice itself. It's a whole practice of the Dhamma. It's the whole cultivation of the Dhamma. But the Buddha also showed us the third noble truth, that you strive, you put your mind into understanding of the dukkha and also abandoning the craving. And then at the end, the eradication of the craving itself, nibbana. The eradication of craving, eradication of that dukkha, full nibbana. So the Buddha has already put the cart there, put the horse in front there already to show you, whatever that you want this one. The Buddha has already showed it to you. So in order for us to drive that part, that is clear. That is very clear. Now another level we look at into it is that there are also people like a lot of you, like you and me also. We read a lot. And we have all kinds of influence from the books and talks and from teachers and from whatnot now. What is and we have all kinds of influence. Sometimes it may be other yogis maybe influence us also, or other teachers may influence us while we are practicing or we are developing. Say for example, some people is that they meditate. After that, they note this rising, falling, or in breath, out breath. Then after that, they go and try to correlate their experience, what they do, and with the books, the knowledge in the books. Like the Mahasi Sayadaw was written, the progress of insight, all the 6 insight knowledge is there, and then they watch something and then they want to see where exactly they are. They meditate a little bit, they see whether is it right, meditate a little bit, is it right? That type of yogis, that type of yogis, and I've seen many of them, not only just in Mahasi practice, but also in other tradition or other monks or other ways of vipassana meditation or samatha meditation. I've seen that, and that is not right. What is you see, reading itself, you read about all these things. It is perfectly okay. It's your craving and attachment to them that is not okay. The craving for them, those are not okay. Even you over attach to the idea of nibbana also is not okay. But having the idea of nibbana is important, is that you must have. But over attachment is where you should not have. Now say for example, the yogi is meditating right now. watch rising and falling and so on. And then after that, a little bit disappear. Hey, this is Nibbana, bo. Already Nibbana, already not. They calm down a little bit only, pleasant. Oh, Nibbana. Is it Nibbana or not? Is it Nibbana or not? That means they are over attached to the whole idea of Nibbana. So to the yogis, the books has already mentioned whatever insight there is. But then the yogi overly attached to all the knowledge, to all the theoretical knowledge. And then they want to have their experience and their theory to go side by side. And that is not the way. No, that is not the way. So while you are practicing, or while you are meditating especially, you've got to put all your theoretical knowledge aside. Your job is just squarely pay attention to what is really going on at that present moment. If you go and bring in too much of your theoretical knowledge, then it can be a problem. Like you're going to stuck there. You get stuck there. But there are times you need to bring in a little bit just to help you to go through a certain problem, a certain hindrance, or to remind you what to do or what to practice, or it give you the inspiration. Sometimes you meditate, you feel a bit down, you remember certain sutta. Oh, that sutta give me so much inspiration. Then you got the energy again. Then when you start to practice, that sutta you have to put aside. You cannot keep holding on to that particular sutta, and then you're not going to be able to progress because you're going to get stuck there. So you got to put it aside, and then you're going to go into it. So therefore, the expectation does not come in in the time of your practicing. During the time of practicing, the expectation is put aside. It's only when you finish the meditation, let's say you go back again and then you go and read about the Dhamma books and so on, then it's perfectly all right. Then you listen about the talks, then it's perfectly all right. It's perfectly all right. And at least you know there is a goal for us to achieve, a goal for us to realize, the Nibbana for us to realize. So if you have those things, then you're clear. And also it's good that you have a very clear understanding about your goal. Because when you have that clear understanding of your goal, then you don't sidetrack lah, You want, let's say last week I said you want to go from KL to Penang. Then if you think that Ipoh is beautiful, then if you have, without knowledge, you can get stuck there. Those Ipoh one, I'm not saying Ipoh is not beautiful. It's just a metaphor only. I like Ipoh, in fact. Anyway, the thing is that people get attached to a lot of things. They expect a lot, and then they don't realize that what is it and what is not. They simply grab, even before they reach the goal. So it is good that you have some degree of understanding, but don't attach to it. You see, especially people like, wait, I gotta share the screen again. Okay, all right. Now, you see, for those who love to think a lot, those who want to think a lot, especially those who are very speculative in their thinking, very xiong-hei one, the whole mind, very long-winded and very think a lot and then overstretching your idea and so on. That is, you have to be very careful because your attachment is somewhere inside there. And if you are not careful, if you don't put it aside, that attachment will be a biggest hindrance for your practice. And then they will come in later part as a restless mind. Because you keep on churning and thinking about the Dhamma. So as I said, in the practice, Put everything aside. Put everything aside. Just pay attention to what is really going on in front of you. Okay? All right. Next question. Okay, next question is a little bit, you have to see it a little bit. Now the question is here. What is the meaning of the 6 sentences underlined in blue? Okay, it's not too difficult. It's not too difficult. If on the other hand, satisfaction arises imagining that at every moment of noting, only those impermanent sankharas are contemplating, knowing and perceiving the sankhara dhamma of a transitory nature, and the said yogi act of contemplating and noting for the being able to dispel the conceit, then is known as manasamuggatthana. This is in fact anicca-nupassana, which takes place with extraordinary keenness. Okay, anicca-to passanasa. Actually, it's not manta, not this one. This is the one. Anicca-to passatasa mana samukathanang namahoti. The meaning is this: there comes to be the abolishing of conceit. Mana is conceit. Samugaha, this is abolishing of conceit in one who sees them as impermanent. So what does it mean here? This is translated from, I think, from Burmese into English. This is a Mahasi Sayadaw. This one. So if you read a little bit on the top there, if there's clinging, imagining, I know how to note. The act of contemplation and noting done by that yogi, not being able to discard or reject the feeling of pride, ego, and vanity, it cannot be regarded as removal of conceit. So the paragraph is a little bit difficult for us to understand, quite clear. But this paragraph Mahasi Sayadaw extract out from the Visuddhimagga. Okay, now I'm going to stop this. I'm going to stop this one. I'm going to go into Visuddhimagga. Let me see. Hey, where's my Visuddhimagga? Okay. Hold on. Okay, we share screen again. Okay, hold on. All right, yes. Okay, can you all see? Okay, wait, can you all see? Can you all see this? There comes to be the abolishing of conceit in one who sees them as impermanent. Can you all see? Cannot? Can, okay. All right. Now, this is just now is that particular phrase that Mahasi Sayadaw arrived. It took it from. This is from the Visuddhimagga. All right. Okay. Now, earlier on, the whole paragraph is taken here. Let me this one. This is paragraph 83. 83. Okay. Now, the one that I highlight, there is no abolition of conceit in one who think it does. I see thoroughly with insight. I see well with insight. There is no abolition. Okay, I repeat again. There's no abolition of conceit in one who think it does. I see thoroughly with insight. I see it well with insight. Okay, there's no. There is abolition of conceit, or there's removal of conceit in one who think it does. Only formation sees formation with insight. Comprehend, define, discern, and delimit them. What does it mean here? It means that if you think that when you pay attention to your object, all right, when you pay attention to your object, in the meditation, and this is And also at this part here is in the knowledge of arising and passing away. This is where this part of the sentence here is under the knowledge of arising and passing away, the fourth insight knowledge. Where the fourth insight knowledge, one begins to see the deep impermanence. Okay, so over here, what it means is that I see thoroughly with insight, I see well with insight. Now here, there is no abolition of conceit. What it means that here is that the yogi see the thing, thinking that I am the one who observed these things. I am the one. That means the self, the I is still very strong, thinking that one sees all this formation. And because of that, you cannot remove the conceit, because the behind is the conceit, is the one is playing all the havoc right now. Okay? Now, so if you see formation, only formation see formation with insight. What it means here is only the mind sees the mind. The word formation is sankhara. If the mind sees the formations, if the mind sees the mind, or the mind sees the rupa, or sees the body with insight, we comprehend, define, discern, delimit, then that means at this time, because while he's paying attention, the person is paying attention, he only sees the arising and passing away of the phenomena only. So therefore, when he sees the arising and passing away of the phenomena, then there is no conceit there. There's no I. He doesn't think that I am the one who sees it. It's just the noting mind observe the object of what is going on. Then that at that moment of time, the abolition, the removal of the conceit. Yeah. So here, you see, in other times, I mentioned that now. You see, then you see, 85. There is abolition of conceit in one who sees thus. If formation were permanent, then it would be right to take them. If formation were permanent, it would be right to take them as permanent. But being impermanent, they are taken as permanent. Want to see if therefore they are impermanent in the sense of non-existence having come to be. They are painful in the sense of oppression, right? They are not self in the sense of no power. Okay. So here, the thing is that wait. Let me go back to the screen sharing of the word file. Okay. Like I said that time, craving, you give rise to conceit. Conceit gives rise to what? Wrong view. So, when you see things, when you see things with attachment, with craving, automatically the conceit also will already come. If you are not mindful, automatically your conceit already come. The moment you have that conceit comes in, you will start to compare things already, or you think that my insight is very good, or my understanding is very good, this one is very good, because you don't see them as arising and passing away. The moment you see things as arising and passing away, all the phenomena of the mind and body, when you see them as arising and passing away, just as they really are, then the craving is not there. When the craving is not there, the conceit is not there. when the craving is not there, the conceit is not there, therefore the false view also is not there. So the thing is that here, although it's mentioned in this quite thing, at that moment, it says that it is anicca nupassana, because at that moment, it sees arising and passing away very fast. Because it sees arising and passing away very fast, therefore, there is no permanent aspect there. When there's no permanent aspect there, there is no conceit there. It sees only everything as arising and passing away, nothing else at that moment of time. So it dispels conceit, it removes the conceit. And because of that sharp mind that is observing at that moment of time. Can you understand? Other words, simple. All you need to do is that time you just note arising and passing away, arising and passing away. Clearly, you don't think of it as I am the one. You just see it as they really are. Then the craving is not there. The conceit is not there. Yeah. Although it's sometimes the words can be many, you know. Okay. Now I got one last question before we go. In the chat. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is from Peggy. Okay, while meditating, I have started to feel bored after 20 minutes. The object is clear and I'm not tired. This is becoming a habit. What can I do to overcome this problem? Okay. Now, you're meditating for 20 minutes, although the object is clear. Now, what can you do? I know you may be bored at this time. When the moment that the boredom comes in, then the energy will start to drop. Hey, you all can see at your chat there, it's not at it's not this one, it's in your chat, especially those who are in the this one. For those in those in the Facebook, let me read for all of you. While meditating, I've started to feel bored after about 20 minutes. My object is still clear and I'm not tired. This is becoming a habit. What can I do to overcome this problem? So at this time, you have to be aware of that boredom. You're aware of that boredom and you switch the mind from the object which is clear and you begin to notice that boredom. Then you note them, boredom. See whether you can able to find it or not. And sometimes, and usually at this time when your energy is low, if you're able to notice it, you begin able to notice this boredom and you feel how the body just want to relax and don't want to meditate. But you make an effort. You make an effort in the sense that you don't get up yet. You don't get up yet. You make an effort to stay there. You don't get up yet. Stay there for a while. And then make an effort to take note of that boredom. After that, you take note of that boredom, you come back to your original meditation object and you keep on paying attention to it and you go through and fro a little bit until you want to come up to your desired time. Yeah. So this boredom, you have to pay attention to it. A lot of us also, sometimes also I do have this also, meditate. Sometimes here, what I did is that at times I change to another meditation. I change it into another way. I push it to something else. Then I increase the time a little bit more. Yeah. But there will be days. There will be days that it can. Yeah, you are just not perfect. There are days we can able to meditate perhaps up to an hour. There are days just to hit 45 minutes or hit half an hour is like such a struggle. There will be days like that. But hopefully, there are days that when you can able to make an effort, you try to make an effort as best as you can to achieve to your desired time. But if there are once in a while, if you cannot achieve it, don't go and wreck yourself. Go and flagellate yourself, and then and whip yourself and so on mentally. It says that at days are just like that. It's just tomorrow, try again, and try again. Okay. All right. That's all for tonight now. Okay. All right. So we'll continue the Dhamma talk on Monday. Okay.